Take a bow. Say your color. Oh, no, 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 no. You got to say it with... Go. Microphone away from me?
No, you want it?
I did. I know, but that's the first thing I saw. Here's one for you. Oh, I'm sorry. Miss Buckley, where are you? Miss Buckley. Now, I gave Mr. Smith a color. Does somebody want to guess what color it is? And get your crayon. I'll take it off. No, I'm going to take it off. I'll take it off. Okay, is Miss Jennifer in here? Okay, here you go.
Oh my God, we'll work it out. Yes, my God, we'll work it out. Yes, you will. Oh God, we'll work it out. It's working right now. He's 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 working right now. I know it, I know it. He's working right now. I believe his word. God is working now. God is working now. One thing I know, one thing I found. Oh, God is working. Come on, just sing it one more time. Sing it out. God is working now. God is working now. One thing I know, one thing I found. My God is working now. One thing I know, one thing I found. God is working now.
What color are they? Red. What color are they? Light green.
Can you clap your hands? Bob your head. Feel good. Giving honor to God, who's the head of my life. I wonder if you mind if I testify. I came to tell you that I survived. The Lord is my light, y'all, and I don't have a reason to fear. Hit me with your best shot, give it all you got, and I'll still be standing here. You may think you know, but you don't really know how far I've come. Those dark nights had me feeling kinda low. Thought I was done. He's got it all in control. I'll be alright. I'll tell it everywhere that I go. He gave you the power, you will never be defeated. You shall live and not die. There's work to be completed. Yeah, yeah. How far I've come, yeah. Thought I was done. Ooh, I'll be alright. I'm telling everywhere that I go, I'm still alive, yeah. Yeah, I'm still alive. Yeah, so glad to say I survived. So glad I survived.
1 minute.
So glad I survived. Oh, I'm so glad that he did. I'm still alive. I'm so glad he did. God would kill me, made me stronger. Put your hands together, y'all. Hey, the devil thought he had me, but I'm still alive. Ooh, Corona tried to block me, but I'm still. I'm a soldier, and I'm gonna win this fight. 'Cause I'm walking by my faith and not by sight. I'm alive, I am alive, I am alive. And I came here just to tell y'all that I survived. Oh, I am a living testimony. I won't be defeated 'cause I know that God is for me. I feel like dancing. Woo! Good God. Every time I think about it, makes me wanna holler. Hey, I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. If God's been good to you, tell me what you gon' do. If God's been good to you, tell me what you gon' do. Hey, I'm still alive. You say I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. Oh, hey, I'm still alive.
Say it. Mr. Fisher is my new teacher.
What is your favorite thing about your school?
I like my school because they have art and I get to be creative.
Probably the people. Everyone's always so nice and welcoming.
The teachers are very nice and I love the spirit and how happy things are in the place.
I really like the people. That's the number one thing. They're very selfless and they have Christian values. Well, at other schools, you don't really have that.
I like it when my teacher prays with us.
I like that I'm not sitting in a desk all day. I like that how I'm moving around all day.
That we always have field trips, like not all the time, but sometimes.
A lot of different aspects. I like that it's project-based. I like that I can get hands-on. And while at other schools I can get hands-on, it's not always the same. Here we're always doing projects and it's not all classwork.
I like when my teachers pray with me and talk about Jesus.
Young people are the most impressionable during their grade school ages. Our Adventist schools are some of our greatest and most effective mission fields. The goal of schools should be to prepare students not just for success in this life, but for eternity. However, it is crucial that we provide academic excellence. The Florida Conference Office of Education has recognized the need for new and innovative ways to educate and challenge this generation of learners. Our initiative will bring STEM education, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics to all of our schools through robotics and innovation. Here are some new and upcoming initiatives. North Tampa Christian Academy is our newest K-12 school where students are taught through project-based learning techniques and hands-on learning. The Florida Conference Innovation Center, located in Central Florida, will be accessible to all of our schools for a deeper learning experience. students will have the freedom and tools to explore, design, and create. The center will feature a 3D printer lab, mechatronics and fabrication lab, and more. A new academy is coming to Broward County and will be an innovative high school that will offer a unique learning experience with a specifically designed curriculum in STEM. The curriculum will combine academics with technical certifications, preparing students for college while qualifying them for specific career fields. None of this is possible without you, without your prayers, without resources, without your support.
Thank you for supporting Adventist education.
Thank you for supporting Adventist education.
Thank you for your support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your support.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to learn engineering in school.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Do you mind standing with me, please, so that we can pray to start? Father in heaven, we thank you so much for the opportunity to be here this afternoon. We thank you for all our parents and our students and family members who are here present. We thank you for this wonderful trust that you have given us, that of Christian education, that of teaching children how they should be taught, that of teaching children about you so that they can grow and develop and learn to love you while also excelling academically. We pray, Heavenly Father, that you will be with us this evening. We pray that your Spirit will be here, that he will be felt, that he will be experienced. We pray, Father, that all the glory and all the honor will go to you. Bless each and every one of us. Bless each family here represented. In Jesus' name we've prayed. Amen. Thank you. You may be seated. So let me start by way of introduction. My name is, I think it's safe for me to take this off, right? My name is Marliano Smith. I am the principal of West Palm Beach Junior Academy for this new school year. I wanted to thank all of you for being here. I wanted to thank all of you with whom I've had the pleasure of interacting, of speaking with during these weeks or maybe a month now of transition. I found you to be an extremely warm school family. I dare say one of the warmest that I have had the pleasure of associating with, so I wanted to thank you for that. I want you to keep us in your prayers. This is we thought last year was unprecedented. We are seeing some of the similar things happening this year as well. So we ask that you keep us in your prayers as we go forward in this mission that God has entrusted to us of educating students for now and for eternity. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start by introducing the staff that will be serving you for this school year. I wanted to first introduce you to our school board. We don't have all the members here tonight, but I wanted you at least to know who those, okay, so it's working, who those members are. It's kind of small there, but our school board chairperson is Joel Celestine. We have our, well, yours truly, Marliano Smith. I'm the principal and board secretary. We have Pastor Vidal, who is the pastor of this church, who unfortunately could not be here today because of other commitments. We have Jennifer Morgan, who is our treasurer, who is here, who you'll be hearing from shortly. We have Debbie Wishart, who is the voice that you would have been speaking with when you call on the phone. She's the one who's been helping you with enrollment. Also sits on our school board. We also have Emmanuel Celestine, Margaret Moniz, Sonia Ferdinand, as constituent representatives of the First Seventh-day Adventist Church of West Palm Beach, a church in which we are right now. So I'm just going to ask that the faculty members, the staff members who are here come and introduce themselves. I'm going to start off with myself by sharing an interesting fact. If the others can do the same, that would be great. My name is Marliano Smith. The funny thing about my name, people always ask, where did you get a name like Marliano? You are Jamaican by birth. That's not a very common name, and I share the story that all of my family members, my immediate family at least, all of our names start with M. So I'm Marliano, my dad is Mark, my mom is Merlene, and my younger sister is Melanie. So when it came time to name me, my parents knew it had to start with an M because you already had Mark and Merlene. My dad, I believe, had a pair of shoes, an Italian pair of shoes. And he told me that the name of the shoes was Chaliano or something to that effect. And he thought, you know, that's a nice name, but it doesn't start with an M. So let's make it Marliano. And that's how my name came about. So just an interesting fact there, right? I wish I had some fantastic story that it meant this or it doesn't. I'm named after a pair of shoes. All right? I have been a principal now for going into my 4th year. I worked at various schools, all within the Seventh-day Adventist system of schools. I have been married now for 5 years. As most of you know in my introduction, my wife is expecting, we're expecting our first child, a daughter, no lease, so you know I'm going to be in trouble. But yes, my wife is actually due this month, the 23rd of this month. So as I introduce other faculty members, you will understand why we have Miss Teeter, who's going to be stepping in my absence. I'm going to have to step away for a bit to take care of my wife. I'm sure you understand. But I'm just not going to start with that. Mrs. Teeter, I'm going to ask that you come, that you introduce yourself, and we will just follow accordingly. I think I'm not seeing the slideshow again. But after Miss Teeter, then we can just go according to grade. So we'll start with K, grade 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, VPK. Needed to start with pre-K, K, and then we'll have our treasurer and our administrative assistant to introduce themselves as well.
Okay. Can you say, thank you, Mr. Smith? You guys fell asleep during the time he talked. Thank you, Mr. Smith. Your color is? Yellow. Good job. I'm Mrs. Teeter. I am retired. See how retired I am? Mrs. Bracero and I are retread. Retired, get it? Tire? Tread? Never mind. Okay. I have taught for 37 years. That's how old I am. I am retired. I am helping out while he is on maternity leave. Oh, wait, that's not called maternity leave. I'm sorry. You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so I'm here for a short time, but I'm here for support for your teachers for a long time. Got it? I may not be physically here, but just like last year, we were hybrid, part physical, part face-to-face, part online. I can be that too, right? So, 37 years, most of those years were teaching 1st and 2nd. My heart are with the lower grades. My stubbornness is with the 5th and 6th and 7th and 8th. These guys had, how many of you had me in 1st and 2nd grade? Stand up and be proud. Come on, stand up and be proud. Say, yay, Miss Teeter. Okay, thank you. Okay. Now, Mr. Smith, what is something interesting about me? I'm retired, okay? Notice I'm sweating to death. And so I'm going to pass this off to another retired person, Mrs. Bracero.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Okay. My name is Melva Bracero. My name is Melva because I'm marvelous. I taught for 35 years, and then I retired 7 years ago. But I'm starting, and I love it because those are my people, the little ones, and I love all of them. So I'm welcome you guys to my classroom. And I am the VPK director, okay? Miss Eng?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mrs. Ang, and I will be teaching kindergarten this year, and this is my second year teaching in West Palm Beach Junior Academy, and altogether I've been teaching like slightly over 20 years. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me later when we have in a class. It will be nice if we can share and we can talk, and we're going to have a fun year together. All right? All right. Next.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Miss Buckley. I am an English Jamaican. I have been teaching, this is going to be my 31st year. I guarantee I was 9 when I started, okay? I have as much energy as your first and second graders, so I'm looking forward to a wonderful and exciting year.
Hello, everyone. Hi, this is Ms. Beckford. I am the 3rd and 4th grade teacher, and I want all the students who have been with Ms. Beckford before just to stand up. Quickly, 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 if you have ever been in Ms. Beckford class, stand up. I don't see you guys. All right. One thing that you want to say to Ms. Beckford, quickly. Okay, good, thank you. Okay, so as parents, I'm the 3rd and 4th grade teacher, and I welcome you to West Palm Beach Junior Academy, and we hope that we will have a marvelous and fabulous time this year in 3rd and 4th. Looking for all your cooperation. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mrs. Lopez, and unlike the previous teachers before me, I don't have that many years of experience, as I'm sure you can tell, a lot younger. This is my 2nd year here at this school, 4th year teaching, and what you should know about me is that I care about my students very, very much. I'm here to support them, and also that I'm a total nerd when it comes to math and science, and I'm very passionate about my subject areas, so we're going to have a really fantastic year in the middle school. And I am the homeroom for 7th and 8th grade. The homeroom teacher for 5th and 6th grade could not be here tonight, but his name is Mr. Fisher, and I'm sure you will meet him very soon. But I'm Mrs. Lopez.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I am Jennifer Morgan, your treasurer. No need to be afraid of me. We are here to help you, right? So there's no need to be afraid. If you see me out there, just still call to me regardless of everything. But I just want to say that I've been here for 10 years. And 10 years. And I can say 10. I don't have to be afraid of the number, right? So 10 years I've been working with this school, and I've been at this church. I'm also the Sabbath school superintendent. So guess what? I'm inviting you all. We have a great children's program going on. Right now, most of it is online, right? So, you can find out from the office later on how you can get on the Sabbath school program. It's very good. As a matter of fact, Ms. Teeter does a very good online program each Sabbath morning. So just to put a word in for Sabbath school. But thank you for coming out and welcome. So I look forward to working with you. And my aim is not to pressure you, but just to work with you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Debbie Wishart. I'm the office manager. Most of you have either talked to me on the phone or been in the office. I've been here for 10 years like Jennifer. We came shortly after each other. And so looking forward to having you guys as a part of our family. Looking forward to working with you. If there's anything that you need, you can call me, you can text me, you can reach me on my cell. And looking forward to a great year and just working with each of you as parents and as students. One thing to talk about myself, I'm expecting a little boy, finally. So it's going to be a Thanksgiving or Christmas present here. And so pray for me that everything goes well. And welcome to West Palm Beach Junior Academy for those who are new. If you guys need anything later on, please let me know. If you have any questions, I'll be here to assist as much as I can. Have a good rest of the day. Thank you.
Yeah, you can do better than that. Let's give a round of applause to our faculty. Extremely hardworking group of people. I'm proud to work with them. They have been fantastic so far. Believe me when I say that your children are in good hands. They really are. We have godly members of staff committed who love children and want to see the best for every single child here at West Palm Beach Junior Academy. Our 5th and 6th grade teacher is Mr. Samuel Fisher, as was mentioned. He is en route from Texas, so he is actually coming in tonight. We have a video from him, which Mrs. Lopez is going to play when she meets with the 5th through 8th graders later, basically him introducing himself and some things that you should know about him. Well, just to share more generically for everyone, he is going to be our literacy and social studies teacher in middle school. He comes to us with a background in creative writing, very big in technology, music as well. So he brings a lot of assets to our school family, and we are really happy to have him. You will meet him shortly. Like I said, he is traveling in because of some technical issues. He was not able to be here for today, but he'll be here tonight and tomorrow, and certainly on Monday morning he will be in his classroom. All right? So what did I do with the clicker? Let me just... So what we're going to do now is we are going to run through a couple of questions that I imagine that you have in mind. After each section, you are free to ask questions as well. Before we do that, though, is there any parent who would like to introduce themselves or child? You have a unique feature maybe about your name or something unexpected that you like to share. Is anybody brave enough? No? No one? I'm sure there's at least one brave child. Usually you can find at least one. No? Oh, wonderful. I'll give you the mic. Don't be afraid. Thank you. Here's the mic.
I was forced to stand up. She told me, "Stand up, mommy." Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Cornelia, and my daughter is going to 4th grade with Miss Beckford. And we have been here with Miss Teeter from 1st grade. And I'm grateful for the school. And I just hope you guys, I know that God will continue to protect us all, and we'll have a good school year. Amen.
Anyone else? Maybe want to share something. You've been here for a while, something you appreciate about the school, something that you like me to bear in mind, that you like me to know. All right. Later is fine. Like I said, we do have time allotted for questions and answers. All right. So each faculty member, more or less, is going to be in charge of presenting some aspect that we believe that you need to know going into the new school year. Like I said, there might be things that we've missed. If we were to go over every facet, every detail, we would be here for quite an extended period of time. So we've abbreviated some things that we want to talk about. But like I said, if we miss something that you feel like you want to know, please be willing to stand, share, and we will answer you to the best of our ability, okay? All right, so I imagine that foremost in everyone's mind, click Clicker is not working here. So I'm going back. Okay. All right. So there you would have met our faculty and staff. Our mission statement here at West Palm Beach Junior Academy is to engage the youth in all aspects of life, inspiring them to fulfill their God-given potential, empowering them for eternity, and to live a selfless life serving others. So you have 4 words there in bold. We aim to engage. We aim to, what's the next word? Inspire. We also aim to empower, and we aim to serve. Those are the 4 things that you bear in mind. These are the 4 criteria that you judge us by. Are we engaging your students? Are we inspiring them? Are we empowering them? And are we serving you and your family? Okay? This is what we believe in. This is our mission statement. The theme for this year is based on a quotation from a book called Education, which I think is a phenomenal book that charts a wonderful course for our education and what it is supposed to entail. In that book, one of this is in the first paragraph, or the first chapter of that book, it says, "Our ideas of education take too narrow and too low a range. There is need for a broader scope, a higher aim." It says, "True education means more than the pursuit of a certain course of study." That's not what education is. It means more than a preparation for the life that now is. It has to do with the whole being and the whole period of existence possible to man. It is the harmonious development of the physical, the mental, and the spiritual powers. A lot of schools will neglect that third component. We're not just physical beings, we're not just mental beings, we're spiritual beings as well. That's an aspect of our personality, of our characters that need to be nourished. It goes on. It prepares the student for the joy of service in this world and for the higher joy of wider service in the world to come. And then one of my favorite quotations from that book, and something that the kids will be saying before the year is out, it says, "Higher than the highest human thought can reach is God's ideal for his children." It goes on to say godliness, godlikeness is the goal to be reached. That's why we educate our children. Not merely so that they can have a career and make money. Yes, it's important to be able to provide for yourself and to provide for your family. But if all you care about is the measly 70 or so years that we have of life, then we are being extremely short-sighted. We need to use those years to prepare us for eternity, where we will spend the majority of our time. All right. So the theme that we're going to be using this year is simply one word: higher. That's what we're aiming for. That's what we're hoping for, to take our students higher in all those different aspects. In Spanish, más alto. Vamos más alto. In Creole, please forgive me, Piwo? Oui? Excellent. All right. Wonderful. So that's our theme for this year: higher. Más alto, Piwo. All right. We're going to go higher. We're going to attempt to scale new heights with God's help. All right. So I wanted to go through a document here that some of you who were students or parents of West Palm Beach Junior Academy last year would have been exposed to. I spent the night reading through this document as well. It's a masterpiece, if you ask me. It's a piece of work. It's very detailed, very intricate. And yes, we are still in we're still in a pandemic. No, we can't offer school virtually like was done last year. We are required to be in person now, but I just want to assure you that we are going to be taking all measures appropriate to protect you, to protect our most prized possession, our children. Okay? We will do everything on our part to ensure that your family is safe, that your children are safe, and that our teachers here are also safe. So I went through this document last night and previously as well. I read through it and I highlighted a couple of things that we are still going to be recognizing and implementing as we go into this new school year. So some important points to make. We are still going to be having our staggered arrival times. This might be information to some of our teachers as well, because I haven't necessarily had the chance to share all these details as yet, but we will definitely work on that going forward. We will still be screening students when they come to school. We'll still be ensuring that the temperatures are being checked to mitigate against the possibility of having a child in our midst that has the coronavirus. Unfortunately, as you know, children 12 and under can't yet be vaccinated, and that's the vast majority of our students. So our student population is a vulnerable group of people, so we are just implementing certain measures to ensure that they are safe. So we'll be screening students still. We'll be asking for you to send your children to school wearing masks, okay? As time changes, as things improve, we will reassess. We're continuously reassessing. If this no longer becomes necessary, we will make the necessary change, okay? But right now, in order to protect our students, in order to protect our teachers, we are asking that our students still wear a mask when they come to school. If we will also have masks in the front office if the masks that the children are wearing are soiled or broken or whatever the case may be, we will ensure that we provide them with masks also so that they can have that and protect themselves and others. Like I've said, we are still going to be reading temperatures and checking those people who come into our building. If a student has a temperature of 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit or 38 degrees Celsius, then we will ask that child to return home until the fever is broken or until it's confirmed that that child is not sick, so that we don't put others at risk. You following me so far? Okay, all right. We will still be having hand sanitizers, and we'll be asking our students to wash their hands, to be careful. Drinking fountains, those are still not going to be turned on as yet, so we're asking you to send your children to school with at least 1 liter of water. We will also have water in the front office to provide for our children so that they are not sharing drinking fountains and exposing themselves necessary to the risk of the coronavirus, okay? The classroom layout, we will not be, the CDC has relaxed its guidelines to 3 feet instead of 6 feet. We are implementing that in our classrooms as well. We're trying to have the desks and chairs spaced apart 3 feet so that there is still some degree of protection for our students. I mentioned this already. We'll be limiting the movement of students, trying not to have the hallways too crowded, ensure that there's 1 class at a time in the hallway in a non-emergency situation. So we're trying to put these measures in place just to ensure that we are being as safe as possible. Recess will be taken outdoors. We believe strongly in recess. The students will still be asked to, respect that 3 feet of distance as best as possible. But we imagine that in the outdoors it should be a bit safer, but we are still going to stress that they be as careful as possible, even in their playing. We're going to be cleaning the classrooms, as was done last year. Last year we hired an additional janitor on staff to ensure that that is being done. Did I miss introducing Sister Campbell? Is she here? She's not here? Okay, all right, thank you. But she's still on staff. That means that she's going to be providing extra cleaning or additional cleaning to ensure that our classrooms or common areas are maintained clean. Lunch, we're going to be having lunch outdoors, which I think is good for our children. We have picnic tables outside instead of having them in an enclosed environment where obviously they can't be wearing their mask if they're eating. We're going to be doing that outside. School assemblies, we will start off by conducting our school assemblies virtually. We will relax that as time goes on. I've spoken to the teachers about having the children in here, maybe sitting by a classroom, and having assemblies in here at some point as well, but we will at least start off by doing assemblies virtually. We're asking you, please, that if a child is sick, please don't take any unnecessary chances, okay? If your child is sick, not feeling well, please have that child stay home. If a child or someone is, if a person has been infected with the COVID virus, for them to return, these are the stipulations. 10 days must have passed after they've been diagnosed. They must be free of fever for 3 days. Respiratory symptoms must have returned to normal. Student and staff who have tested positive must have a clearance letter as well before they can return to class, okay? All right, so those are some of the major things. Like I said, it's a flyover. Are there any questions where this is concerned? Yes. Can I get another mic? Is that possible? Thank you. Can I have one of the students, the 7th and 8th grade students? Can you just be a floater for me, please? Someone? No? A volunteer? Gabriella? No? You're shy all of a sudden. Nicholas? Can I ask you to just take the mic to the persons who are speaking? Thank you. We have a hand over there. Thank you, Nicholas.
Thank you for taking my question. No, you mentioned in the reopening plan that the drop-off hours is 7:20. Will there be no early care offered?
Yes, we're working on providing early care, before care rather. That's regular drop-off hours, but we will have before care as well.
Do you have an idea what the time frames for that would be?
7 a.m. is when before care would start.
So nothing before 6? Nothing for 6 a.m. or anything like that?
No, that's way too early. The earliest we can get someone here is 7 a.m.
7, okay.
Okay.
And my other question is, you said that if the child has COVID, we have to get a letter from the Palm Beach County Health Department. How would we go about doing something like that?
Or from a doctor, from a medical professional stating that the child is no longer has no longer tested positive.
So having a negative COVID test will not be sufficient for you guys at all?
If you have a negative COVID test, yes, that should be sufficient.
That should suffice.
Yeah.
And do you guys need us to send Lysol as well to school? I saw that you wanted hand sanitizer.
Yeah, if you could, that would be great. I'm sure teachers would appreciate that.
Yeah? Okay.
I'm sure teachers would appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? We have a question here and one here, Nicholas.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yes, in regard to the vaccinations, because since we are 7 days Adventists, I'm saying most of us are 7 days Adventists, and I don't know if everybody does. So as far as vaccination, is it going to be an issue? Because as far as some of us not believing in vaccinating our child.
No, that's fine. We are not mandating vaccination. That's a personal decision between you and your family.
Okay.
We are not mandating it. It would be nice. I have not mandated that to the teachers either. I've suggested it, recommended it, but for different reasons, some personal, health, maybe even religious reasons, people might opt not to. I'm not in a position to enforce that or to force anyone to do that.
Yet suppose that the government says we have to, do we have a provision that will protect us from that?
If the government says that you have to be vaccinated?
Every children must be vaccinated.
Yeah, the government cannot mandate that.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be an infringement on your constitutional rights.
Okay.
If the government tries to do that, a lot of people would be rich because there'd be a lot of lawsuits.
All right, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Any other questions? We have one here as well, Nico. Thank you.
I saw something about microwave.
You saw something about?
On your screen, I saw something about microwave.
Yes.
So my child's meal can be warmed up?
Yes, the child's meal can be warmed up. We are encouraging that you send the students' meal in thermoses, if possible, but we will have microwaves accessible. They will not be in the classroom because of a discussion that we had with the fire marshal, I believe it is. We're not allowed to have them in the classroom, but they will be available throughout other common areas in the school, absolutely. And will be sanitized as often as possible as well. Any other questions? I'm sorry? Drop-off would start at 7:20, yes. Anything else? Yes, Mrs. Solorzano.
Can you help me translate me?
Yeah, you can ask in Spanish, it's fine.
Solo una sugerencia, porque muchas veces les dan medicina para quitarles la fiebre y entonces ya los traen como que están sin fiebre. Entonces tienen que pasar 3 días sin fiebre para poder venir, o no sé cuánto es el espacio, creo que decía 3 días ahí.
Okay, so the question was that sometimes a child might have a fever and they're given fever medication to break the fever. Whether we are still going to have the 3 days past after that student has had a fever. I would say yes, or if you do not want those 3 days to pass, I would suggest that you get a COVID test to be safe. COVID tests are free. It doesn't cost anything. So I'm going to err on the side of caution. I want you to know that. Even if that's not my personal philosophy, I feel like as the leader of the school community, I need to be as careful as possible to protect others. So I would suggest that if a child has a fever and was sent home, you go and do a COVID test, you present that, we know that, hey, the child does not have COVID, and then we can get on with the business of the, yes, is that Ms. Beckford? Go ahead.
The child should be 3 days fever-free without any medication. Therefore, you should not, without any medication, the child should be 3 days fever-free.
Right. Thank you. All right, can we move on to our next presenter? Yes? All right, thank you for your questions. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for understanding. I would love to have our students back and things return to normal. That has been my prayer. I don't like seeing the kids wearing masks. I don't like kids having to be careful. Kids are normally social. They're warm individuals. And I feel like the current climate is almost robbing them of their childhood. I honestly do. If it were up to me entirely, like I said, I wouldn't, but we do have to think about the bigger picture. We have to think about each other. That's a biblical mandate. And there's nobody who believes more in the power of God to heal and to deliver than I do. but God also expects us to exercise wisdom. You understand? He expects for us to exercise caution. There's a reason Jesus did not jump off the temple when Satan told him. You don't put yourself in danger. Okay? If you are put in danger by doing God's will, that's different. But you don't voluntarily walk into danger. That's being careless, and that is being presumptuous, and that is tempting God. So we have to be careful. Okay? All right. Thank you very much. We are going to, I know some people are rather busy. So Miss Buckley, I'm going to ask that you just, Miss Buckley, I'm going to ask that you just wait a second. Is Miss Debbie still here? She left? All right. Miss Jennifer, I know that you have, did you still want to speak to the parents about financial policies? I'm going to allow for you to do so because I know you have some work doing in the back office. And then I'll take you, Miss Buckley, okay? And after Miss Buckley, just so that we know, well, I tried to have Miss Debbie go early because I know she had to pick up her daughter as well. But if not, then we'll go to Miss Jennifer, and afterwards Miss Buckley, and then Miss Lopez in that order. Okay? Once again, after each section, you're free to ask questions if there's something that's unclear.
Okay, hello again, everyone. All right, just to, get some understanding between us both, or between you and the school. As I said, we are here to work together because our aim is to give children a Christian education. And therefore, we want to do everything to enable this to happen. So one of the good things that we can be very happy about is that the scholarships have funded, and most of us are on scholarship, 100% almost in some cases of the tuition. And so we don't have a lot to worry about. When I just came at the school, the scholarship only covered about 60 to 70% of the tuition, and it meant that parents had to come up with the rest. So we are far away from that today, so we can be thankful that that is so. So just want to say that, so we have aftercare, and everybody knows aftercare, you have to pay that from your pocket, and any other activities that are not, there are some that may be covered through the scholarship if you have enough money. If you don't, then it means that you have to pay from your pocket. But just to remind you guys that this is a private school, we have to pay all our bills. And so we depend upon the monies that come in, the scholarship money and the money that you pay for aftercare and all of that, right? So when the scholarship comes in, and we said, well, now it's electronic. It has been for last year, maybe a year and some. And we said, please go in and approve the payment. We're asking you to do so promptly because it's the money that we use to fund our operations. And sometimes it might look like a lot. And you say, oh, they have a lot of money, so, I don't need to go and do it now because they have a lot of money. No, it's not really like that. It takes a lot to run a school, right? So we're just asking that when you get the notification that the scholarship is in, either if you have to come in and sign the check, because some people that were on the empowerment scholarship last year, you had to come in to sign the checks. The others who were on the step up, they get it electronically and you have to sign it and so on. So we're just asking that you do that promptly. And there is a charge if you don't do it promptly. The charge is $25 if you don't sign it within the required time. And it's within 10 business days of your getting the notification, okay? And there's any other fees that are due and not paid on time, there's a fee of $20 per month on the balance that's owing. All right? So, and we have to do this because if I'm going to have to be sitting there and, doing all of this bookkeeping just to get a little money for you to pay a fee, you see, time, and the school has to cover all these expenses. So we don't want to charge you nothing extra. So if we just do everything according, on time and, as you're supposed to do, then everything will be fine. So we're looking forward to a great year, a wonderful year. And I'll be in the back. So when we are done, when you're done with your class, or if you can get away a little and you need to come see me, please come and see me in the back, okay? And I'll be available. If I'm not here and you need to speak with me, we can always set a time for you to meet with me. But thank you so much again for choosing West Palm Beach Junior Academy, and I know we'll have a wonderful year. Thank you.
For many years, I've had the privilege of doing dismissal. But this year, the responsibility of this task will be divided among the teachers, all right? So from Monday to Thursday, dismissal is at 3. But Friday, dismissal is an hour earlier at 2. Now we dismiss from 3 to 3:15. And if after 3:15, we send your children to aftercare if you're not here, that's your grace period, okay? So we ask you to please try your best to be here by 3:15. Parents of pre-kindergartners, you must come into the school and pick up your children. Only pre-kindergartners are allowed, parents of pre-kindergartners. If you have children in the primary and intermediate wing, we are asking you to pick them up in one spot, okay? Not like last year, one spot. So if you have children in kindergarten through 4th, and you have another child in 5th through 8th, go to the 5th through 8th grade wing, and we will send your other child over, okay? We can only release your children to the names of the people you have written on the release form. Example, parents, if your brother or sister comes from out of town, but their names are not on the form to pick up the child, I will not release them to that individual. I can say that, I'm going to repeat that again, because you will have a hard time with me with that. If your brother or family member comes from out of town, but their names are not on the form to pick up your child, I cannot release them to the individual. Parents, I also cannot release your children to individuals who are under 18 years old. And one request, parents, I have for you. Please make sure your children have their seatbelts on before driving off. You do it all the time. As soon as they get in the car, you're gone. You're not in that much of a hurry. Please make sure they have their seatbelts on before you drive off. It's for your safety and for their safety. Remember, on Friday, dismissal is at 2. Monday through Thursday at 3. Thank you. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. The question was, if you have a family member come to pick up your child, but their name's not on the release list, call the school and let us know. If I don't hear from you, I don't release them. Even if the child knows the person, okay? I have a parent here who can justify what I'm saying. She knows. Yes, ma'am. Talk to Debbie. Yes, there is a way. There is a way. You speak to Debbie, because when you enrolled your child, it's on the form. Okay. Give it to Miss Debbie. Any other questions? Yes. Yes, you can put that's where the names go. There's not a separate release form, but when you enroll your child, you put certain names on there. Now, she asked, can she give a list of names? And I said, yes, go and still speak to Miss Debbie, okay? Are there any other questions? Thank you for your time.
Pastor Stewart, can you pull up the handbook? Thank you. Okay, so I have been asked to go over the student handbook, and that is a document that I hope we are all familiar with, those of us that are returning. I believe that you were emailed a copy. Okay, you were emailed a copy of the student handbook, so you should all have access to that. You check your email. If you somehow lose that, you can also find a copy of the student handbook by going to our website and logging in. And as soon as you log in, there's a list of links there, and one of the links is student handbook, okay? So you should have access to this. If at any point you can't find or you need, just let us know, and we'll get you a copy of the student handbook. Well, the student handbook covers quite a few topics, and I'm not going to sit here and read them all to you because I know you all know how to read. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to touch on a couple highlights, and I say a couple, but it's a pretty long list. We're going to touch on some highlights, try to get some important information to you, and then you can read some of the details for yourself, and then, of course, if you have any questions, you're welcome to ask. Pastor Stewart, I really hope that I have these in the correct order. You might have to scroll around a bit, but we'll do our best, okay? All right. You can scroll down from there. The very first one I wanted to touch on was school trips. Keep going. In essence, what I want to say about school trips, and I don't foresee us having any school field trips or anything like that right away, of course, because of the conditions that we're in. But should circumstances change and should we be able to go on school trips, the thing that we wanted to mention to you parents is that you're welcome to join us on a field trip, but any parent that wants to come with us on a trip would need to, I think we're well past it there. I don't know. Any parent that wants to come on a field trip would have to get a background check first before they were allowed to come and be with the students. So you're welcome to join us if we do have trips like that, but you do need to get a background check so that we're sure that everybody's safe. That's okay if you can't find it. It's in there. You guys, you can find it. The next thing I wanted to talk about was the absence policy. So for the absence policy, basically what we are stating is that if you have a reason why your child is going to be absent, please let the school know, of course. It's especially helpful if you let the office know and the teacher of the classroom know that your child's not going to be there that day. There we go, lovely. According to our absence policy, there are 4 reasons why we would excuse an absence. And that would be bereavement, so if there's a death in the family, student illness, of course, if your student is sick, please keep them home. Student quarantine, if they indeed tested positive, and a medical appointment. If you have a medical appointment, that's a valid excuse as well. But again, if your student is going to be absent, please communicate that with the school. Let us know. And if there is an excuse, one of those reasons why they're not there, let us know that as well, because attendance records are legal records, and we need to be able to mark them appropriately what the reason was. Okay, the next one is about medications. If your student has to take a medication for some reason, like a daily medication that has to be taken during school hours, for whatever reason, you do need to let the office know, make sure that they have all the information and the medication that they need. It would all be done through the office, not through the classroom teacher. So if your child needs medication for some reason, please let the office know. There it is. All right, next one. It's a telephone. Many parents are asking, can we send our student, well, at least for the older students, can we send our students with a cell phone? And you can bring a cell phone, but you would have to let the teacher know, and you would have to keep it put away for the entire day, of course, unless the teacher lets you know that you can take it out. But the school telephones, the ones that we have here in the office and in the classrooms, if there's an emergency, we will use that telephone to reach out to you. So you really don't need to send the cell phone to school. In fact, we would prefer if you didn't, because cell phones oftentimes become distractions. Because again, the school telephone is always available. If there's an emergency, we'll reach out to you using that number. So that's where we are on that. Next one is the appeal process. If you have a concern about something that a teacher is doing or something that administration is doing, if you have a legitimate concern, we do have, there it is, the appeal process that you can go through. So it's not that we're just going to ignore your concerns. If you have a concern, the process is in the student handbook. You can follow that process and you can get your concern addressed. Okay, so all the details you need in the student handbook. All right, the next item is the list of items that are not allowed on campus. And I didn't write that one down, so I'm gonna have to read it off the screen. Forbidden items not allowed. Ooh. Oh no. Control F, can you search the document maybe? Certain items that are not allowed, off the top of my head, I can remember things like skateboards or wheelies or things like that. We don't want our students getting hurt on campus trying to wheel around the hallways or anything like that. Other things that were mentioned, we don't want to be bringing toys to school because we've got lots of learning materials already here, and especially in pandemic conditions, we don't want to be bringing things from home unnecessarily. So we want to avoid bringing a toy unless the teacher has specifically said, bring a toy today or whatever. But other than that, we want to avoid bringing things like that to school. Maybe we'll come back to this one if we could try to find it later. Okay, the next one, Pastor Stewart. Oh no. We'll come back to the items that we don't want to bring when we can find it later. But you can search the substance abuse policy. And I think that one should be pretty self-explanatory. No substance abuse is allowed. No illegal, illicit, no alcohol, nothing like that, of course, would be allowed on campus. Oh no. It's typing again. A couple extra C's in the handbook there. Sorry. There it is, okay. So again, tobacco, alcohol, legal or illegal drugs, drug-related stuff, narcotics, any substance, those things, of course, are not allowed at our school. The next one would be the sexual harassment policy, which I believe is right underneath it, Pastor Stewart. There it is, sexual harassment. Again, not allowed in any form. We are very strict on those two things, substance abuse and sexual harassment. So I think that's a given, but we understand that those things are not acceptable at our school. Okay, the next one is our school does have a disciplinary system for when we have significant discipline issues. And our discipline system has levels of infractions. So there are some offenses that are more minor, and there are some offenses that are more serious. And we also have a points system with that. Good, wonderful. If you could scroll down just a little bit to, there it is, the 4 levels of infractions. And you can see that each level comes with a different number of points that go on the student's record. And then, of course, the more points that are added onto the record, the more serious consequences that you're looking at. Most discipline issues are just handled within the classroom with the teacher. And, of course, when you go to your own classroom orientation, you can talk with the teacher about what their specific discipline policies are. But for really serious infractions, we do indeed have a system here to keep track and to make sure that, we're guiding our students along the right path. So that's our discipline system. The uniform, and this is also one I don't have details written down, so we'll have to, there it is, school uniform. Okay, so the daily uniform, school uniform colors are white, scroll down, yellow or navy blue. We want our students to look clean and modest. We want them to have our uniforms tucked in. We also have a different PE uniform for when we do have PE, so you want to make sure that you have both. Already several parents have, can you keep scrolling down, please? Several parents have already come and said, I don't have the uniform ready yet for the first week of school or for the first day of school or whatever. And we understand that, you know, there could be delays or whatever. You need to order, get your things together. So what we are doing is we are offering the first week of grace that if you do not have your uniform together, what we're asking you to do is to dress as similarly to the uniform as you possibly can. So a plain white polo and khaki pants or something like that. If you don't have the school shirt, you have the first week of school, you can still wear just a plain white short or something like that, as close to the uniform as possible. Past the first week, though, we really do want to make sure that our students are in their school uniform. And if you have extenuating circumstances, reach out, you know, and of course, we'll do our best to work with you. Can you keep scrolling down on the uniform? Thanks. We want to make sure footwear as well, that our shoes are navy black or brown, and even our hairstyles as well. We want to make sure that those are matching the policy. Scroll down just a little bit further. And the no jewelry, that's another policy at our school, that we want to make sure that we are not having jewelry on our students at this school. And again, you guys have access to this handbook. It was emailed to you. If you want to look at the nitty-gritty details of exactly what is expected, you can check that out for yourself. Okay, oh, look at that, a little bit more. The hats and the makeup, there it is. Okay. The next one is parent-teacher conferences. So we are asking if you would like to have a conference with your teacher, if you would like to talk with the teacher, we're asking that you contact that teacher and set up an appointment that works for them. Please do not walk in and say, let's meet right now, because when it's a school day, the teacher's primary responsibility is the students, and we need to supervise them and make sure they're safe. And so we don't always have time to meet with you during the school day, so reach out ahead of time and set up a time for when you are available and when the teacher is available for you guys to meet. And then there are also regularly scheduled parent-teacher conferences. We are having 3. So after the first quarter, there's a conference. After the second quarter, there's a conference. After the third quarter, there's a conference. None after the fourth quarter, because then you're on summer break. But we do have that in the schedule, so you will have chances to meet with your teachers to talk about the progress of your students. And in those parent-teacher conferences, we go over their grades, we go over behavior concerns, and we also go over assessment results for standardized testing. So you really want to make sure that you do come and have a conference with the teacher so that you can really understand where your child is at and how you can best support them. All right, student diet was another one that we wanted to discuss. There it is, students' diet. The food that they bring to school, this is a Seventh-day Adventist school, and so we want to abide by the health principles that our church supports. So we are asking that the food that you send your student would follow those guidelines. I think there's a little bit more if you could scroll down a bit. There it is. So we want to avoid things like pork and pork-based products, and yes, that includes pepperoni pizza, and shellfish and other things like that. Additionally, caffeinated sodas, we really don't want to see those at our school, and other things like that. So we want to make sure that the food you are sending your student is healthy food to support a growing mind. In addition to that, it was mentioned earlier that there are microwaves available, and there are, but if every single student in the class needs to use the microwave, there goes the entire lunch period microwaving food, okay? I've seen that happen more than once. So yes, you can send food that needs to be microwaved, but if at all possible, send food in a thermos so it stays warm, or food that doesn't need to be warmed up, because that allows us to have our lunchtime to eat our lunches, not just stand in front of the microwave the whole time. Okay, the next one was the technology policy. And this is quite a lengthy policy in the handbook, so I'm really not going to go through the details. But technology is a blessing that we have here at the school, and we want to make sure that our students are being kept safe to what they are exposed to when they're on the internet. And so we have a very clear technology policy there. In addition, when we give you a laptop or an iPad to work with for the school year, we check it out ahead of time, we make sure everything is functioning, and then we have you sign, and then we, of course, give them the device for the school year, and then at the end, we take it back and check over it to see if there's any damages. So we do want to make sure, and then, of course, you know, you're held responsible if there are damages. So we do want to make sure that we're taking very good care of our technology, and that we're very careful about what we use it for. So again, if you need more details on the technology policy, right there for you in the student handbook, you can check it out for yourself. All right, last one, thank goodness, is the image release. I think that might be like right at the end. There it is. So when you enroll at West Palm Beach, you are essentially giving us permission to take pictures in the classroom and take videos and to document the fun that we have this year. And those pictures could be used for things like advertising our school or to be shown at church or something to talk about what we've been doing in our classrooms. So by being a student here, you are giving your permission for us to use, photographs of you. If that's a problem for you in any way, let us know. And then we will make sure that your child is not photographed or that those photographs are not shared or whatever. So you, as of right now, you are giving us permission to release those images. And again, if there's a reason that that's not okay, let us know. And we'll make sure that that doesn't happen for you. Okay, I believe that's it for the handbook. Okay, the other thing I was asked to talk about too is the school calendar. Take a moment, all right. That was a lot, sorry.
Thank you, Mrs. Lopez. It is a lot. As was stated, this was sent to your emails. The only parents who might not have gotten this as yet is the parents who are still in the process of being enrolled. Like students who were tested this week, we haven't yet put you in the student information system, but this will be sent out again once we have everyone properly enrolled. I do ask that you go through it, that you acquaint yourself with the rules and policies that we abide by here at West Palm Beach Junior Academy. So I'm just going to ask that you stand a bit. Yeah, I know I see some of the kids getting restless. I would be getting restless as well. I understand it's been a while. So we're going to just do some stretches. So you're going to go up with me. On your toes. Nice. You're going to take a deep breath. You're going to hold it for as long as I tell you. Deep breath after 2, 1, 2. And you can let it go. Let's try that again. Another deep breath. Let's go. Let's release. All right, thank you. We're going to transition in a sec. We just have a couple more things to go over. We're going to go over the school calendar just now so that you know some of the things that we have planned for this school year. Just bear with us afterwards. You'll transition to your homerooms to meet with the teachers who will be taking care of your children this year. So I'm going to turn back over to Mrs. Lopez.
Thank you. I saw the restlessness too. It's hard to sit still for so long. All right, the school calendar, we just want to touch on a couple of highlights in there. And this is also something, was this emailed as well? That's what I thought. Okay, so this is also in your email. And so you should have access to this. And again, if not, just let us know. We'll get it to you. So some things to look forward to. The first day of school coming on Monday. Yes, for everyone except VPK. VPK, of course, would be the very next day. Tuesday's their first day. We have house activities planned for this year, activities that we're going to do with the students in the various houses that they are put into. MAP growth, that's our standardized testing, so we will be doing standardized testing first thing in the year in August to make sure that we know where our students are at and also so that we can set goals to try and reach as we go throughout the rest of the year. And of course, a birthday celebration. Okay, August. September. In September, for our older students that are interested in being in student association, we'll be having student association elections then. Notice that there is no school on the 6th for Labor Day. We're also planning an upcoming career week, so get ready for that. And then on the 16th, dads, take your child to school day, and we'll give you more details about that before that day comes. On the 20th, notice that it's a noon dismissal, so please be here at noon to pick up your students. Another house challenge and more birthday celebration. Moving to the next month, August, September, October, there it is. Okay, in October, that is where that first quarter ends, and so at the end of the first quarter, we have our parent-teacher conferences to talk about how they've been doing so far. We also have a picture day happening in October, so of course, we'll give you more details about that as well. Get your students ready to take their pictures. On the 15th, we have another day in which it's noon dismissal, so please come at 12. On the 18th, it is a fall break, so there is no school that day. Enjoy the time together as a family. And then on the 25th, we have another noon dismissal. The 25th through the 29th, we're really looking forward to having Week of Prayer with our students. This is a time where we really take a spiritual focus, and we pray with our kids, and we talk with our kids, and we make decisions for Jesus. So we're really looking forward to that. And by all means, pray over the Week of Prayer that it would be a blessing to our students. In addition, we have a social studies fair. Those that were here last year know that we did a science fair last year, so this year is going to be a social studies fair. And we'll give you, of course, more details about that coming closer. Then next month, okay, we have an education, I'm assuming that's Education Sabbath, the program here at the church where we get to come together and celebrate with the church members what we've been doing at our school. Of course, Veterans Day on the 11th, and of course, Thanksgiving as well. We will be having another canned food drive to help support. So definitely send your students with canned foods for that. Usually we do it like competition style to see which classroom can collect the most. So that's another thing to look forward to. House challenge, again, that's our students are all divided into 4 houses, and this is just another way of bringing community and unity together. So we'll be doing activities that day. And then, of course, pay attention to the dates for Thanksgiving break, and then another noon dismissal. In December, thank you. In December, on the 8th, we do have our Christmas program that we are looking forward to. I'm going to be preparing our students for that, so please come and support, and really looking forward to that. On the 13th through the 17th, we're going to be doing a Spirit Week. This is a fun opportunity for students to dress up and do just extra activities and get all pumped up about being at our school. And then you notice we do have another noon dismissal there, and then of course Christmas break, and that's a beautiful 2-week vacation for you to enjoy and celebrate with your family. All right, January, after Christmas break, school starts again on January 3rd, and at that point the quarter 2 report card would be coming out at that time, and we would also be doing our second round of standardized testing, so the MAP assessment's happening again to check on the progress of our students and make sure that they are reaching the goals that we had set for them. And again, you can see there that the parent-teacher conferences happen right after that so that we can tell you about the results that your students got on those standardized exams. And of course, on the 17th, we have no school in celebration of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Another house challenge, another activity, and Winter Festival is something that we're excited about. It's something that's been talked about before, but we're really pushing for it this year. We want to have a Winter Festival where we can all come together and celebrate as a school family, as a community together. So look for more details on that coming soon. On to February. I think you might have to go up. February. Okay. In February, the older students, those in grades 5 to 8, have the opportunity to go on a trip for outdoor education. On the 21st, of course, there's no school on that day for President's Day. And then on the 26th, we have another Education Sabbath, so another chance to celebrate with the church the accomplishment of our students. And then we have an open house to look forward to in February, and we'll give you more details about that. And a noon dismissal. All right, March. In March, we'll be taking our spring pictures, so another chance to dress up for a photo. And then we have a math bowl, which is so much fun. As the math teacher here, I just absolutely love that. We're really looking forward to doing another math bowl with our students. And then we have RAP testing, and RAP testing is specifically a test for the writing skills of students. And that will be grades 3 through 8 only. They test their writing skills, so another standardized test there. Then that quarter ends and we move into spring break. Got a week for spring break and then another week of prayer. We're so blessed to have another one in the schedule. And again, we ask that you would start praying over that time, that it would be a blessing to our students and that good decisions would be made for the Lord. Then the Florida Conference Robotics Competition is on there for those that are interested in being involved with the robotics. That would be when you would go and compete. And then another parent-teacher conference so we can talk about the testing and the grades. On to April. Again, an opportunity for those students that are older. There is a Festival of the Arts, a trip that they can take down to FLA to celebrate art in all of its various ways. And then we do have a picture specifically for those that are graduating pre-K, kindergarten, and 8th grade. They would get their photos taken with their graduation attire. Notice another noon dismissal day. We also have a community service day coming up, so that's really exciting. Easter break is in there as well, and we're going to have on the 26th, you can see the roundup day for the students to go and check out their classrooms for next year to get excited about that. And a kite and bike-a-thon. This has been a tradition here for a while, I believe, so we're looking forward to another round of kite and bike-a-thon. And then finally, the month of the month of May. There it is. Okay. The month of May, again, for those that are involved in the robotics, this is the next level of their competition, happens in May. And then we have our final standardized testing for the year to really see where we ended up as we look towards the next school year. So the last round of testing there in May. Notice as well that we have an award ceremony, and this is something that parents and students alike really love, to come and celebrate the amazing things our students have done. So please plan to be at that award ceremony to celebrate your student. And then we have another Spirit Week, another chance for kids to dress up and do extra activities with their classmates. And then on the 17th of May, the pre-kindergartners and the kindergartners have their special graduation ceremony. And then the last day of school would be on the 20th, already looking way ahead to that. And then finally, after the last day of school, then we have the 8th grade graduation as well. And I believe that just about covers the calendar for the school year.
Yay! Okay, you know those half days? You saw the half days? The teachers do not go to the beach on those days, okay? I'm just letting you know that is not a day for the teachers to go to the beach. Guess where they're going? They go to school to be better teachers. So parents, please don't complain too much about those get out at noon days, because us teachers have to always learn so we can always teach you. Got it? Everybody good? Okay. How many of you enjoy sending your kid to school and shooing them to school and then sit back and you don't care what happens after that? Oh, I have one. Or when they get home, what did you do in school today? Nothing. Oh, well, did you go online at all? Oh, yeah, we had fun. What'd you do? I don't know. How many have heard, I don't know? You got a lot of I don't knows? Well, guess what? We are giving you ammunition to track your kids. Is there an amen for that? Oh, that was soft. Do you want to track your kids and make sure they're not getting behind? There's a way to do that. Okay. Now, up on the board, there is a web page. What's the name of the web page? Okay. You will hear it as FLCOE. The teachers are lazy. They call it FLOCO. Don't tell me why. I don't know. FLOCO. Florida, FLCOE. Oh, wait. My mind just went pew. Conference of Education. No, not conference. Florida Conference Office of Education. Got it? Office of Education. Oh, Miss Teeter's old. Okay, but anyway, when you go to FLOCO, do you see up at the top that says LOGIN? Click that for me, Pastor. Oh, look, you can go to, oh, there you go. You can go to the Microsoft logins, grades 3 to 8. I'm not sure about K to 2. Grades 3 to 8 gets, their username is an email. Last year, first and second's email was a pseudo email. It wasn't a real one. But anyway, but Microsoft login, fax, where do you go to get the report card? You want to know what the report card says? Where do you go? It used to be called RenWeb. You get an A for the day. Have your son come see me for a prize. Okay? Okay. But anyway, but now it's called Faxes. Okay? You can find out about the attendance, you can find out about the grade, and a few other things. The calendar, by the way, is there also. Okay, Canvas. If you are in 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, stand up. Parents included. 3 through 8, stand up. Parents included. Okay. You get to know Canvas. You want to know what your kid's doing in class? You make sure your email if you're not getting emails from the principal, if you're not getting notices, texts, and things like that, you make sure the email is correct. Got it? Okay. You have access to Canvas. Okay, be seated. If you are sorry, pre-K, but you can stand for the fun of it if you want. K through 2, stand up. Kindergarten, first and second. Parents? Oh, yeah, she's raising her hand instead of standing up. He's asleep. Oh, no. Anyway, you get to, we don't have a Canvas, sorry, but the upper grades go to Canvas to get what assignments are missing. Your teachers will be using Seesaw, Echo, Seesaw, and Clever, Echo, Clever. And so you make sure you are familiar with what they're online with. Got it? Got it? Okay, be seated. You want to know, by the way, Clever is for everybody. Got it? Hello? Everybody wake up. Say, Miss Teeter, do a jig. Are you doing a jig? Okay. Everybody is on Clever. Your teacher will design Clever to meet your students' academic needs. Got it? Okay? Okay. Here we go. Miss Beckford, are you coming up? Because if you want to know how to log into all these things, Faxes is the only one that you have to create something, and Miss Debbie has it all written out for you. And if you come before September 30, I'll do a one-on-one to help you. Got it? Okay, Miss Beckford. I'm going to get there. Oh, okay. Mr. Smith doesn't want me to finish. When you dismiss to go to the teachers, kids, come see me. I have something for you. Okay? And if you finish it and give it to me, then you can go with your parents to the teachers. Okay? But when you finish it and you come give it to me, I have something special. What do I have, first and second grade? Probably prizes. Abigail Glorianne knew that.
Okay, good afternoon again, parents. Today, as Clever, I'm going to talk about how we track your student progress and how you also can able to track your students' progress. Okay, so all students log into Clever, and last year they did a marvelous thing that when you log into Clever, all the apps are at the same place. So we don't, unless there's extra like reading it that we add to it, we will let you know. We will give you the login. Like ReadWorks, I use ReadWorks to do some activity. I will give you the login for that. But for tracking all your student progress using the app, once your students log into Clever, they are all there. Reading A to Z, Lexia, Dreambox, Type C, and all the things, apps that they will use for their learning progress. Dreambox, I'm going to talk about Dreambox. Raise your hand, parents, if you see your kids logging into Dreambox. Hello? Raise your hand if you have seen your student or your child logging into Dreambox. Okay, Dreambox. So what we expect from students is that each week they should complete the minimum of 5 lessons. And that's just the minimum, so they can go as much as they want, but the minimum of 5 lessons each week. What does Dreambox do for you? So when they complete their 5 lessons in Dreambox each week, as teachers, we're able to see where they are, they're progressing, where they accomplish, where they're moving on, and also we see where they are lacking. So we go in and we will see that. And so therefore, we can work with that child on the area that they need help, and we can also put them up in other things that they already passed or make progress in. We can, what you would say, can I have a word? Yeah, advance, yes. So for Dreambox, which is math, it's designed as a one-on-one for your child, so they can learn at their own pace. So please, I'm asking you parents to ensure that they work on those apps every day. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and as long as they complete 5 lessons for the week. It don't have to be 5, it can be more than 5, but the minimum of 5. How do I know that my child is doing Dreambox? If you go on the page that they're on and look to your right, I think to your right, it will tell you how many lessons they have completed. So they say, oh, did you finish 5 lessons? Yes, I did. But then you hear Miss Beckford call you and say, or another teacher and say, oh, they have not been in Dreambox all week. Just go to the right of the screen when they log into Clever and click on it. It's right there to tell you how many lessons they have completed for the week. Reading A to Z is what we use also from, I think, first and second and up. And it's a really good reading program. And students, you can allow your students to read as many books as they want to. We use it as a part of our reading program, but they can go in and read as many books as they want to. And we also place them on their reading level in that program. For Reading Plus is for 4th grade and up. And for Reading Plus, we have 3 assessments. We have the beginning assessment and the second and the third assessment in Reading Plus. We're asking that parents, you help us to monitor your students, even though they're being monitored online, in doing the Reading Plus activities, completing the lessons they have each week. It's not us that assign the lessons are assigned to them based on when they do their first initial progress monitoring. So once they do that, and then it will assign them the amount of text they have to read. So it gives them amount of text they have to read and vocabularies they have to do, and either they have to do some sight words in there. So it's based on how well they do on the test the first time that give them that placement in Reading Plus. And we're asking that you monitor them to see that they complete their readings and activities throughout each week. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the standardized tests, which is MAP. And MAP is done from kindergarten to 8th grade. But for kindergarten, they do mostly the fluency section of it. To 3rd grade does the fluency. MAP is done 3 times for the year, fall, winter, and spring. And for the subject area is math, reading, and language usage, but the fluency is only done from kindergarten to 3rd grade. MAP fluency tests are unique in that they adapt to your child's level of learning. So when your child does the MAP test for the first time, it's adapting its reading and taking a pattern of what your child knows. And the second and the third is going to see how well they grow
When we get those results, what we do with them is that we use the learning continuum to look at what your child needs to learn next, and how we tailor that learning to suit and to fit your child so they can grow throughout the school year. So we're asking, and I'm asking, all the teachers are asking that when it's time for them to do those standardized tests, we ask you, make sure they have good sleep, make sure they have breakfast, and come in ready to do those tests. They are not timed, so they can take their time and do it for the day. We try to do one per day. So if it's math, then we just do one per day. And it's not timed, so they can take as much time as they want. Yes, we don't want them to take the whole day, but they have the opportunity to take their time and do it. When they have done that test, it's telling us where your child is at. Please encourage them not to rush through the test. Sometimes I have to be calling parents. Sometimes we see they, oh, miss, I can't go any further. Why? This little man standing up with the stop sign saying, stop, because they're just rapid guessing. It's clicking, 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 and going. Please are asking that the system will not able to evaluate what they're doing, how well and where they are at if they do not give their best. So we're asking you when they're doing their MAP exam that you encourage them as much as possible to do their best. Also, we do our rap writing, and rap is from 3rd grade to 8th grade. And this is to evaluate and to see how well the students are able to write in the writing program. And so we work with them much in what we call a writing workshop to accomplish this. And after the marking of the writing, then we see how we're able to monitor them, work with them to encourage the growth in their writing skills. And those are basically the 2 main standardized tests that the school does each year. But we have other tests and other things that we do in monitoring the growth of your students. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Beckford. So I know it's a lot. We'll be going, particularly for those parents who are new, those who might have been here before are familiar with words like MAP and RAP and Lexia, reading A to Z, and so forth. These are all terms that you've learned or that you've heard before. But we assure you we'll be working with you to ensure that your child is progressing as they ought to. After the first set of assessments in August, your child will be placed on a track, and we'll work to ensure that your children are improving as we go along. We'll come alongside you. You do your part, we do our part, and we'll ensure that your children are progressing as they ought to. So we are now going to transition to that part where you will actually meet with your homeroom teachers. For those who were enrolled a bit earlier, I sent out an email a couple of weeks ago basically stating a principal's challenge. For those students who've been reading during the summer, I sent a form that you could have filled out. Did anyone bring that form today? Oh, awesome, look at that. We have some kids who, come, could you guys come please, come up here. Yes, you want to talk to them, you said? Oh, sure. So, oh, how lovely that you're wearing your name tag. This is Abigail Glorian.
Is this the reading list?
This is the reading list.
You get to come see me.
And we have Daviana. Okay, Daviana, how many books did you read this summer? Speak in the mic.
I have read 8 books
You read
this summer.
8 books? What was your favorite book that you read this summer?
The Bus in Montgomery.
The what?
The Bus in Montgomery.
The dozen?
The Bus
The bus and what?
in Montgomery.
Oh, wonderful. The bus in Montgomery, that was about Martin Luther King or Rosa Parks or?
Rosa Parks.
Wonderful. Thank you. And Abigail Gloria, how many books did you read?
I read 8 books.
You read it?
Yes.
Favorite book?
My favorite book was about New York City.
Okay. Wonderful. Davian, Abigail, Gloria, and we have some prizes for you. So I'm going to ask that when you're done, you go right to Mrs. Teeter. I think she might have even, okay. Yeah, you go right to her, and she will have something prepared for you. Can we get a round of applause for Davian and Glorian and Abigail Glorian? Thank you, guys. I look forward to working with you guys this year. Awesome. Good job. I'm going to give you a high five if you don't mind. You can wash your hands afterwards. All right. Thank you, guys. Well done. Were those the only two? Yes? All right. So you just speak with your homeroom teacher as well, and please ensure that you see Mrs. Teeter afterwards. The students have also been given what is a scavenger hunt. Once they complete that as well, they can bring that to Mrs. Teeter here, and they will get prizes once again. Some of them already started, which is fine. We have some good students here, which is very good. All right. So we are going to transition into that aspect of the evening where you do meet with your homeroom teachers. If you have, some of you have multiple children, the teachers will be flexible enough. You can go to whichever teacher first and go to the other afterwards. If you don't get to ask all your questions today, the teachers are here all year, all week. You can always speak with them, communicate with them via email, whatever it is. They'll speak about that in their homerooms as well. So I'm going to ask that we all stand at this. Is there anything I'm missing? Oh, you said you wanted to, I'm sorry. Yes, Miss. After prayer. Perfect. So after prayer, Mrs. Teeter wants to say something to you before you. Yes. First and second will stay here with Miss Buckley.
Red group stays here.
So red group will stay here. And we're going to be leaving not all at once. I'm going to tell you how we're going to be dismissing in a second. Do we have questions? Yes, we do. Extracurricular activities, that's a very good question. Yes, we will have extracurricular activities. We are trying to find out what is a safe way to go about doing that. But that is entirely our plan. I've been in communication with various people. I've been looking at, we have extracurricular, which, are you referring to things after school or things that we're adding to the curriculum? Right, yes, absolutely. So I do have the contact information. I've reached out to some of those people. The thing now is just a matter of safety. As soon as we are comfortable that we can safely transition to doing these things, and absolutely. We do want to provide as many extracurricular. I've spoken to a coach this morning about soccer and other activities of such. We'll have robotics we're hoping to have. There is music. I've spoken with a musician who wants to do music lessons with our students after school. Spanish is going to be in the curriculum. So we have a variety of things that we are looking to do this year to for our students. Yes? Art? Yes, art is a part of our curriculum as well. What we have done traditionally is that each teacher has taken an elective. So we'll have a teacher that might do Spanish, one does art, one does, I've even seen drama. And what I'm accustomed to doing is having those activities on Friday. That's a discussion that I'm having with the teachers to see how we can safely do that as well. But we do want to have all of those activities. Yes, go ahead. So the question is about uniforms being upgraded. Yes. If you're referring to the change in the logo, right. So So very good question. Let me just repeat that for everyone who might not have heard that. The question is being asked about the change in uniform, and do the uniforms from last year still apply, right? Can we still use those? Absolutely. If you've been here for years and you have uniforms from previous years, your children can still wear those uniforms. But we have changed the logo on the uniforms, and eventually everybody is going to have the new uniforms with the logo, because that's just how it is. Things get old, you have to change. We're not mandating it, but we've spoken to our uniform supplier. We've provided them with the school logo. Previously, it was the Adventist Edge logo, which was a generic kind of logo. Now we have our actual school logo that's been imprinted upon the uniforms. And we have a family who's worked very closely with that as well, the Sorozanos family, who's been redesigning a lot of the graphics and so forth for our school. And I want to publicly thank you for that as well. Absolutely. The promotional video, they're the ones who did that as well. The yearbook, they're the ones who did that as well. They've really worked very closely with us. We encourage you as well to share your skills and your talents with us. I am looking for someone to head up home and school. Let me just throw that out. If you are passionate about working with kids, getting them involved, working with the school to provide activities, fundraising, whatever the case may be, you can come talk to me and I'll be happy to work with you on home and school. Yes, another question. Spelling bee competition? Yes, that is on the calendar. It was. The calendar, if you check your email, I believe I sent out the most updated calendar. The one that Ms. Lopez had, I'm sure she probably picked up, was not the most recent one, but that's fine. We discussed some changes just yesterday, and we updated the calendar. So that was the one I believe I sent you in your emails. And you will see that we have a spelling bowl. Which month was the spelling bowl again? Who remembers? Yes. It's in January. That's the regional one, but we're having a local one first. And I think the local one might be in November or October. I can't remember exactly now. November? Yeah, I think so as well. But that is on the calendar. So you will be given those words. We'll have a local spelling bee. Have your kids study those words. We'll have a local spelling bee here. The winners will go on to represent the school regionally. Okay? Wonderful. Any other questions? Yes. Do we have a school nurse? Are you a nurse? Are you a nurse? If you would like to volunteer your time and assist us in that regard, we thank you so much. Trisha, I know your name now. All right. So I think we might have just found a volunteer to be a school nurse. And we have other nurses here as well. If you would like to volunteer in that way, you want to come and give a couple of hours, we welcome you. We do the necessary protocols, and we would love to have you on staff. If we can have 6 individuals to do that, all you need to do is spend an hour, another one comes, or whatever the case is, and that would be great. Would really appreciate that. Yes. See, this is what I'm talking about. We have another volunteer here. It's contagious. Do I have another one? Because I think it's... They're okay, so you, Miss Brasseria will take care of that. But I won't forget Princess Haley's mom and Miss Trisha. Wonderful. So if you guys want to volunteer, just speak with me and we'll make it happen, okay? And thank you so much. All right, so if that is it, let us stand. We're going to pray. Then we're going to dismiss you according to homeroom for you to speak with your homeroom teachers for the remaining time that we have. Thank you so much for your patience. I know this has been kind of long, but these are things that we needed to go through with you. These are important information that we needed to share, so we thank you for your patience. If you would bow your heads with me, let us pray. Father in heaven, we thank you so much for the promise of your continued presence. We have sensed you, we have felt you, we have seen you since the school year has begun, and we know that you will continue to be with us because you have promised. The God who cannot lie has said that he will never leave us nor forsake us. So we ask that you will continue to be with us, that you will once again bless each and every family here present, Lord. I pray that at the end of the school year, every single family, every single parent, every single child will say, either vocally or in their heart, that it was good for their child to have been at West Palm Beach Junior Academy. I pray that you'll help us to hold the standards of true education high. As we aim to go higher through your help, I pray that you'll continue to provide the resources, the support, the strength that we need for your name's honor and glory. Help us to be ready. As we see the signs happening all around us, help us to recognize that Jesus is soon to come. And we need to ensure that we're making our calling and election sure. Help us to that end, we pray, in Jesus' name. Amen. Mrs. Teeter?
Here's how we're going to dismiss. Are you ready? Jump for joy. You can jump for joy. It's the house of the Lord. Okay. If I did not get your child one of these papers and a pencil, by the way, thank you, Mrs. Teeter. For the pencil, it's free. Okay, here's what we're going to do. One side is a color thing. Let's review. Pre-K, blue, kindergarten, light green, first and second, red, third and fourth, purple, 5 and 6, dark green, 7 and 8, orange. Okay, on the back you have to see there's going to be a secret sign. It's not up yet. There's going to be a secret sign on the outside of your teacher's door, except for first and second grade. She's going to meet here, so I'll give it to her when I go get it. And the back side, you have to put 1, 2, what your teacher wants you to learn from their meeting. Got it? So you match the colors on one side, and that put a name on it. If it's finished, come see me. If I can't get a prize to you tonight, first day of school, see Miss Teeter. Got it? Third and fourth grade, bye-bye. Bye-bye, third and fourth grade. This is called, what do you call it? With the guy with the flute that went walking away and the children all followed? Peter Piper. Okay, whatever. Third and fourth grade, bye-bye.